range, Sidra has them all. And also incredible control at the ledge with that neutral sig on cannon. You can't jump for free, so now you're afraid. And then sword, you jump around me too much, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop you up real quick and toss you out of here.
Oh man, but it looks like Swata, I mean, we saw Swata on this hammer before, putting most of the game time on that hammer, and it was for good reason. He knows how to clean up with this weapon. Granted, on the other side here, we have the Ninja, you were mentioning before, right? Amazing SIGs on that cannon from Sidra, and that's what the first thing I was talking about. Using that gravity cancel down SIG to shift Sidra's hurt box upward and get a punish on an aggressing player is gonna be a very big thing for Swata to look out for.
Weapon tosses over on the left side. Has the down signature, Swata keeps continuing those weapon tosses back to the main stage. Oh, that was a close tentacle, baby. That was a close tentacle.
It's so good. You jump around me too much, you will get snatched up, and that makes you have to chill a little bit more often. I mean, Swata had a really good lead off the start there with the damage. Does get D-Light recovery. It's not going to take enough off the top, but TheNinja has answered it right back.
Yeah, man. I mean, just taking a look, that cannonball coming out, boom, clean hit. And the thing about the cannonball, too, is if you use that move, you can get cannon and light out before the cannonball has even disappeared.
It's so whack. It's insane. Such a good defensive option to use, regardless of whether or not that cannonball whiffs or not. Just start mashing that button to buffer it up. The Ninja taking this first stock. That's 1 minute and 22 seconds into this one. Compare that to one of the previous games where I believe it was Cozy that got manhandled in 1.5 minutes total. So definitely a slower game, but really a normal pace game. It's only in comparison to those quick games earlier. Immediately evened up by Swata. He's going to have his choice of weapons. Of course, he's going back to the hammer.
Yeah, Swata would be staying on that hammer, but I think if anybody's in question why the Ninja has been playing so much more Sidra of late, we're seeing it played out right in front of us. To be able to like counter edge guard, and also just the consistency of being able to kind of dip around issues with that, while also still having the early KO power, has just been showing so well for the Ninja. Very even so far on the yellow. Try to catch that D-Sig off to the left. Swata is always swinging though, on the way back up saying, chill homie, I'm getting back on.
And I think one of the great things about this as well is that for the Ninja going to the hammer matchup, like normally people think of like, oh man, I hate playing cannon into axe. Great, beautiful ground pound coming up from Swata, by the way. Should be a cleanup there, goes for the gravity cancel down SIG, didn't get the touch, it's gonna be the stock. But it's one of those things where if you have like long active hitboxes and the cannon just starts staring towards you, right? It gets stuffed out every single time. But with the hammer, you have to time your like side light or like your stomp or your end light. You have to turn that like almost perfectly pretty much to stuff it out time and time again.
Definitely leads still here, favoring Swata. He's going to turn the Ninja to yellow. Hoping to extend this. Wow, Swata's only in the orange. I thought he might be the beginning stages of red, but he's still in the orange. But I am liking the Ninja that I'm seeing today. The confidence, the speed from the Ninja is like different than one of the previous times we saw. It might have been in the last Omen tournament where Ninja was just playing slow. Dude, it was boring. But he was using it really well. He was like beating down his opponent in terms of the pacing of the game, which was an effective strategy. But it's definitely different than what we're seeing from Ninja today.
I mean, a consistent statement you always hear is defense wins championships, and Swata is pretty much on the defense right now, playing it so well. Deep into red, still refusing to give up the second stock. You do have sword out, so it's going to probably disappear soon. But granted, it's going to be the wrong stock. It's going to be the Ninja going down there. Swata, after that very early play, slowed it down. That confidence that Ninja had, you can see it start to slowly fade away as Swata just kept playing perfectly in mid-range to avoid any big combo starters, any side lights from cannon, forced them to go on to sword, and then we saw quite a few missed signatures, which we expect to see, but Swata was always there to capitalize on it.
Oh man, like, despite the fact that like the Ninja looks a little bit more confident, we can see the Ninja swapping over to the Hattori now, aka John Cena.
Where is he?
Hey, yo, nobody knows, man.
I mean, where is he, though? Where actually is he, though? We can't see him.
No,
Nobody can see him because Swata can't see him either.
Y'all were doing a bit. I was looking at the computer, and then he just fell, bro.
Yeah.
What happened?
A quick one, man. I don't know. Was that worth the sacrifice of the cannon? Now, granted, I know the Ninja has like mixed feelings on the weapon. He doesn't like it. We've seen players have great success with it, like Snowy and Experience. Like, it definitely can be done, but the Ninja has always had some strong opinions about where it's sat in the metagame, and I feel like here he feels like it's not working against Swata. He wants to try something else, and we're seeing Spear, which is a weapon that has pretty much disappeared from top-level Brawlhalla play.
And when you do see it, it's pretty much only Hattori. And you're looking for that combo starters, you're looking for the big D-Lights into GC D-Light, Sair to keep that damage going, try and get Swata to, like, kind of chill for a bit. It hasn't worked so far, but it makes sense in a nutshell because of the fact that the Sidra got shut down pretty hard in those later stocks.
Yeah, he is moving to a character that he has a lot of experience with. Level 90 Hattori coming in here. Of course, the #1 is going to be the Ninja's Sidra. No surprises there. But second most played character is going to be the Hattori pick. It's still kind of working about the same as the Sidra did, if not maybe a little bit worse. Huge gap between these two players right now. Even though the Ninja has weapon advantage, Swata isn't putting too much out there to maybe put himself in a dangerous position where Ninja's going to find 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. He does get the KO there, but still so far behind. He is going to continue to control these weapons.
We'll call that intentional option coverage, maybe. That was definitely Swata jumping right on top of it, and you'll take that every day that you can for Hattori. But like, look at the way Swata is just staring down the Ninja over at the side. You could press whatever buttons you want. Eventually, you're going to make this mistake in front of me. The damage you're going to do to me is going to be nullified instantly as we see him once again go up a full stock.
That's one of the tough things about playing Spear at a high level is that you're not allowed to whiff Spear sidelight. If you're going to throw that move out, it has to connect. Otherwise, there's so much time for someone to get a punish here. If we can see the Ninja is struggling, trying to find these hits. I like the use of the weapon throw for the reset here. He used to get quite a bit more damage, though, before he could even start thinking about KOs, and I think a swap over to Sword is probably the safer bet.
Yeah, I think that's the play right now. You need to get that consistency of damage. It did work for you somewhat with the Sidra before, and you need something going right now, but you're going to get really hard there. Excuse me, just a big whiff punish. D-Light into Dare, getting that damage on. You have to get this KO ASAP, though. Otherwise, Swata is just not going to care that much. Missing out on the ground pound as well. He's
adding the damage up pretty quickly, but I still just think he's too outpaced by Swata at this point. It's going to take virtually nothing for the Ninja to lose that final stock. A side arrow will do it. A stomp obviously will lead into any KO option you want that Swata can use. Meanwhile, the Ninja, now he has a fresh Swata, so he's going to have to do all of that work yet again without getting hit by hardly anything.
Yeah, it's highlight real time. You have to go for the big play. I mean, it's possible, Flambeau, but it's definitely looking pretty grim.
Yeah, it's just hard because I'm like, the setup generally for Spear to get the dodge read is that sidelight, right? And let's say the Ninja goes for it. We saw the first time the Ninja went for the sidelight, Swata just didn't dodge, right? Because most Spear players will wait for you to dodge and then try to react. So it was like, all right, I'm just not going to dodge. And boom, he could have gone for an immediate D-Light, but he was like, oh, wow, you just didn't dodge. And just like that, Swata's able to find the final Sair to close out that game. And I'm wondering, I don't think the Hattori's it. I'm going to be honest. I don't think this is the answer. I'd rather the Sidra here. And if not the Sidra, I'm like, do you have a Zol? That would be a very meta pick.
I think you're exactly right on that. Spear is definitely not the play. You saw many times he was trying to get that sidelight to work. It just wasn't working. He hit the sidelight, no move after. Hit the sidelight, no move after. I don't think Spear is the play whatsoever. Maybe if you want to lean into the Bryn for the axe side of things, but even then, that would only be if you're like dead set on having the Spear in your kit. I think the Zol is a good pick. I think a Sidra is a good pick as well. An Onyx is a possible good pick. Any of the major cannon picks that the Ninja comes out with.
I mean, the longest string I think we saw from the Spear in that set was one D-Light Sair, and that was it. Like, it took so much effort to get that, and then even when you got to the sword, it's like, well, you could probably be doing the same thing, but with the Sidra. So I think the Sidra comes back. You think about how you have been getting outspaced. You're doing a good job of controlling the ledge, or excuse me, your recovery at ledge to keep him off of you. But very surprising to literally all of us at the desk. Running it back, not only stage-wise, but we're still going to see the Hattori.
Okay, then I'm hoping that the Ninja maybe sticks with the sword a little bit more and leans into that aspect of it instead of sticking with the Spear, but he throws away the sword almost immediately. He really wants to bet something on this Spear, but right now he just doesn't have a weapon, and Swata already has him approaching the orange here, but the Ninja surprisingly is faring decently well in
There's a weapon spawn, please. Please go over to the weapon spawn. He gets over to it in time, but he wanted to fight unarmed there. He had no problem doing that.
Like, trying to reach a little bit too deep in the depths of trying to embody John Cena here. Now, there you go. Finally getting access to some damage. D-Light Sair off the side, like, gonna get some damage going. But you have to find a KO too. Now, I know it's as cliche as possible to say, but you need a big ground pound reader, something off stage to get that first stock and get some confidence in you.
Now, granted, one thing I will say that I'm happy about is when we saw that Sidelight, D-Light's air. The Ninja did that D-Light immediately, so he was able to realize the Yomi layer of, wait, hold on, you're not dodging when I hit you with Sidelight for the first time. So now he's actually able to play that minigame, but I'm wondering if it's a little bit too late.
Ooh, we almost found the spike there, but Swata has some pressure on the edge. The recovery, picking up low, doesn't KO. More damage being added up by Swata. I mean, more damage being added up by the Ninja, but he doesn't need damage right now. He needs the KO options. He has to find the D-Light. You see him hunting for it. He wants the recovery, but the one he found wasn't in the right spot. Immediately picks up the spear, wakes up with the Sig. These signatures on Hattori have not been working for the Ninja whatsoever.
He just swinging, bro. Like, he just threw out like at least 3 different gravity cancel Sigs. Went for the like Hail Mary, I'm gonna KO you, you're a gold ground pound. Like, he is trying everything, and it took so much effort for him to get that first stock. This time now, though, he already racked up a little bit on Swata. If he can get, oh my god.
Yeah, correct. Bro, my heart is going crazy. And I think the only person we've seen today who's been able to actually avoid not only these KOs, but the being able to avoid Swata when he knows you're seeing red was Godly. Everybody else, when Swata's at KO %, you can't open him up. Like, you literally can't open him up right now. And that's what we're seeing so far, because it's not like the Ninja's not for a lot of bad plays. He's just getting outplayed a lot right now as he's going deep off stage. Marquis, this is not looking good.
Everything Swata's doing is basically landing right now, or he's not getting punished for it. He hasn't gotten hit in, it seems like, 100 years.
See ya.
The D-Sig on Hammer, too. That's how you know how confident Swata was. The first stage of confidence was the turnaround neutral signature on the Hammer on the right side. The second level of confidence was that Bodvar Hammer down Sig. I don't know the last time I saw that, let alone when it actually even hit.
Bro, Swata nice. Swata's just nice, and there's a reason why this man is the reigning champion of BCX. But even though going down to Winters, you're not going to see him just let that go away after getting knocked into losers or lowers by Godly. I think we're looking at what's probably going to be grand finals. Like, Godly is currently sitting on the winner side of things, might punch that ticket, pretty much cruising through a lot of people right now. Swata is looking like the most dangerous person in lowers right now.
I would definitely agree with you. We're going to see Swata moving through into the losers semifinals after getting a 3-0 victory against the TheNinja729. So that's going to put him in a good spot there. He's going to be waiting for the winner of Delta versus Sarme. This is going to be an interesting set. Was there anything that y'all had more to say before we move on to that one?
I'm just sad. Like, I feel like whenever I watch the Ninja play, it's like the Ninja goes up against someone who like I feel like every bracket run for the Ninja ends like this, where like he's cooking somebody, he moves on to the next one. He's cooking somebody, he moves on to the next one. He cooks somebody else, and then he hits someone who's just better. Yeah, like they're just better. And then it's like you're watching him, and you're just like, you can do it, but everything on the screen is saying no, and you're like, today will be the day. And I'm like, I'm still waiting, dude. I think he can do it.
Honestly, it's needed, and it's very frustrating for a lot of people when you're rising up in the levels of competition, but when you run into those people who keep you stuck,
demons.
That's the only way you're going to improve. And you have to constantly look at them no matter what. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Godly, Sandstorm, and Acno, it doesn't matter. You have to say, I can beat them. And even though it might not happen the first time, you have to keep pushing forward towards that. And you're right, Ninja always somehow finds that person who's in like top 3 and knocks him out in 5th place.
And that was their first head-to-head, too.
That's the other thing.
Which is, it still blows my mind. I still don't trust him.
Honestly, it's hard to believe. But I think it definitely has to do with they were just so even before, but now Swata is just taking over, or at least constantly in that top 3. Ninja declining a bit, but also like decline while getting top 8. So it's like it's still good places, but we all know for the Ninja it's not enough.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not from what we've seen in the past from the Ninja. I think he maybe just needs to find his place in the current meta. Like Flambo was talking about his opinions on Cannon and how it fits currently. I mean, you saw he went back with the Hattori for another game after he got mixed up. Yeah. And after the spear was clearly not working. If he was that married to the sword, he could have gone a bunch of different other sword characters. He didn't use really any of the signatures successfully whatsoever. So there was really nothing about Hattori that was working whatsoever, but that's the one he chose to go with. So I think maybe the Ninja currently has like an identity crisis on how he fits into the meta when he's playing like those super high tier players on the other side of the bracket like Swata. Like maybe those things are working against your top 32 players, but then you get to your Swatas, your Agnos, and maybe that's where he just needs to find something else that kind of gives him that joy, Marie Kondo style.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, character passion definitely matters a lot. Like, if you want to improve, you get character specialists for a good reason, you get weapon specialists for good reason, and it builds up. So having that, having losing faith in your character while also playing against somebody who's one of the best mode bars in the business, you're going to be second guessing yourself, where they are just confident in every choice. So I definitely want to see the improvements come through. We saw some really good defense at the start of these highlights where we saw those cannon neutral sigs to kind of back off, but the Hattori just was not it.
That's facts.
Like, I mean, we talked at the very beginning, we said, John Cena, where is he? Well, I mean, it was not there.
That's facts.
Where is he in the meta? That's the question I'm asking. Not a lot of people coming through with that, but